Welcome, everyone. Hope you had a wonderful Christmas. This is episode 6 of Reckoning Wire. Today we'll be getting into, thanks to Nick Shirley, right? He had a huge investigation. I think that last time I looked had 83 million views. I think he's going to break some records on that one. But here we go. Let's get into it.
Every line leads somewhere. Every knot ties a secret to a sin. And tonight, the wire hums with what folks don't want to hear. Follow it long enough, you reach the reckoning.
They don't want it seen. Funny thing about the truth, you can pin it to a board, draw lines around it, try to keep it still. But once it starts to burn, it doesn't stay put. It floats, it consumes. And if you're lucky, it shows you where the blood's really coming from. That's when the map starts to matter.
Dead drop received. Contents verified. You're cleared to view.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Dick Tracy. I do like those intros. They are pretty. I'm working on some more videos too. I got some new music that I've made with my Music Hue website I'm building. I got trying to come up with some music, some good music. Not good music, some good video ideas for the music video. So I'll come up with something though. Sometimes it just has to stir a little, right? Listen to the lyrics, listen to the beats, and the images start popping in your head and you're good to go. Do I sound a little echoey? No, I think it was just my headphones. Well, Nick Shirley sure did bust open a swarm, right? A whole hornet's nest, because now everybody is looking in their town for exactly what is going on. Shout out to Andrew Torba. Look, they introducing daycaredata.com. Browse and search 79,000 providers. And their FCC records to find political contributions. And Cash was arresting people right before he did that interview. So I believe things are moving. They are going on behind the scenes. At least they better be on this one, or there's going to be a lot of mad people. There's so much fraud, though. It's everywhere. And that's kind of what they have showed this year. Between if the Democrats screamed about it and that we were cutting it, or that Trump was cutting it, then most likely it was part of the fraud. part of their political contributions going back to probably their NGOs, right? Who knows? Bank accounts overseas. You never know with these freaking traders. And it's both sides of the aisle. You know what I mean? That's why they're kind of quiet on it, right? But I did want to check this one out. I just seen this before we went live. Nice. Look at that. 18,000 providers in California. And yeah, this is exactly the stuff, right? That really, you got to give a shout out to that old man that did all that investigation, right? But you can't take nothing to get away from Nick, right? Because the amount of views that video has gotten is unbelievable, right? Like that broke everything. And sure enough, I was searching this morning, and what did I found? I found it. This is how the refugees, not just Somalis, start child care centers. The whole blueprint is provided by the government. The RFCC MED program. The Refugee Family Child Care Micro Enterprise Development Program. Can you get any more clear? With a website that literally gives them steps by steps exactly how to get the grant. And this goes into so many different businesses, right? Like childcare is just one of them. But they open a bunch of different businesses. But I mean, look, this one literally gives you to start a family childcare. Like that is insane. And it just gives them the whole, like, just click here, do this. Right? Click here, do this. Like the MED program, it provides immigrant business grants to help recently arrived refugees and other ORR eligible individuals to start their own business. However, this program focuses exclusively on helping these groups start and run family child care businesses. Since they often have young children of their own, many already have the necessary skills, and this allows them to earn an income without having to work outside of their homes. So Nick visited mostly the businesses, right? But how many of them are actually doing this out of their own home? Because after I read this, I kind of got the gig, right? The kickback for these loan companies, basically. And just like it says, the program doesn't issue business loans for immigrants, but its services include direct financial assistance to prepare their homes for childcare operations, assistance. How are they doing all this? They don't speak English. They're not even, right? Assistance in navigating the childcare business license process. So the whole process, right? The assistance in navigating the childcare business licensing process. So if you wonder how they're doing it, they're not just assisting them navigate. I can guarantee, especially with my experience with working with the refugee community and immigrants, is that they want you to do everything for them. So I guarantee that they're assisting them in setting up these business licenses. And then training and technical assistance in professional childcare and microenterprise development. To qualify for a funding opportunity, as an immigrant entrepreneur, you must have lived in the U.S. for under 5 years. In addition, you have to live in a home that meets state and local government safety standards for operating a family child care business. Now, I can tell you where I'm at in California, there's a lot of these family child care businesses that are run out of their homes. Now, I'm not saying that they're all, you know what I mean, a scam. Shoot, I used to drop my kids off, right, at a lady that ran hers out of her home. So there's nothing about running a daycare out of your home, right, is illegal. But the fact of what we all just found out, and now you have someone basically telling them exactly how to start a family child care business. And as an American, you can't use any of these. What's up, Stevie? Jordy? Dick Tracy? Catfather B? Thank you for joining me tonight. But yeah, this is literally laid out. Yep, they all do. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. 1 second. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. All right, so this program for investment in micro entrepreneurs, while all of the small business administration programs are designed to serve small businesses, that technically includes around 97% of American companies, some of which have hundreds of employees and millions of dollars in annual revenue. The program for investment in micro entrepreneurs, PRIME, that's an interesting one, isn't it? Is an SBA program designed to help the smallest businesses in the country, those with less than 5 employees, commonly referred to as a micro enterprise. These businesses often lack access to traditional funding options, especially when owned by newcomers to the U.S. Now just think about this. These are refugees that come from another country. They come here and they get a house. How the hell did they get that fucking house? That's the question. So they're getting a house most likely by Section 8, which is through the government. And then they're using that home that they're probably only paying, what, $100, $200 a month for the big ass home they have. And then they start a business. Like, this is everything just given to them, right? Like, excuse my language, but why the fuck then can't they do this for us, right? They can give them a home. They can give them loans. They can, right, give them everything to start a business. Insane. However, the SBA doesn't issue prime grants directly to these micro enterprises. Instead, they go to micro enterprise development organizations, MDOs, which are intermediaries that provide training and technical assistance. The SBA requires that 75% of prime funds be used to support disadvantaged micro entrepreneurs defined as very low income persons, those with a maximum income of 150% of the federal poverty line. Well, fuck, that's most of us. You bastards. Low income persons, those with an income no more than 80% of their area's median income, and administrator approved. Those, Marie, yeah, and a low IQ. Well, apparently you don't need a freaking IQ. You just need to be a refugee and they'll give you everything. Those that an SBA administrator has determined are economically disadvantaged or lack adequate access to capital. Since the program start in 2018, its small business grants have ranged from around $50,000 to $400,000, requiring a 50% match. In 2024, the SBA, this is the Small Business Administration, distributed $7 million in grants among 28 organizations. So don't tell me that the SBA is not funding this shit, because they gave them $7 million to this Prime grant. So it's bullcrap. They are. The SBA distributed $7 million in Prime grants among 28 organizations. Unfortunately, traditional SBA loans for immigrants have become harder to get since the passage of Executive Order 14159. It states that SBA lenders have to make sure they don't lend any businesses owned by ineligible persons. These include refugees, asylees, foreign nationals, visa holders, non-immigrant aliens, and undocumented aliens who are in the U.S. illegally. In other words, immigrant business owners must get their green cards and become lawful permanent residents to qualify. You don't say. Look at that. And they recite the executive order that says protecting the American people against invasion. Now, isn't that interesting? You see, Trump came in and cut all their shit off from the SBA. So Biden and prior, right? But mostly Biden, because this one started in 2018, at least this program. So protecting the American people against invasion stopped immigrants from getting loans from the SBA, which Trump called an invasion. Ooh, they got a lot more on this. There's no way. And this is all about ICE, right? Agreements to involve state and local law enforcement and immigration enforcement, and restricts access to public benefits for undocumented immigrants. Yeah, and that's the voters too, right? Voter fraud. But this, right, to protect us against invasion, well, if they're using, geez, that's it's. And now they're going into rural business development grant programs. And then goes in how to get, right, a rural business through grants, through the Rural Business Development Grants, through the United States Department of Agriculture. We've been ripped off every which way. A lot of things that piss me off, but this one kind of, I mean, as much as they've spent, I'll make them walk the plank. As much fraud has went on, we could have all had a house and land, right? Like, seriously, they have blown through trillions and trillions of dollars. Probably more than that if you add it up over the last X amount of years, right? My gosh. A capital readiness program that was launched in 2023 and managed by the Minority Business Development Agency. Like, what? Here's another Biden scam. Yep. Instead, we'll struggle to survive. And look, .gov, another freaking government agency. So don't tell me that the government isn't providing this shit for these illegals, because they are. Agriculture, United States Department of Commerce. They don't even have to go through NGOs. Geez, they just get it straight from the damn government. Gosh. Man, that's just, I mean, they give them the freaking blueprint, man. Everything right there for them. And here we go, look. The Refugee Micro Enterprise Development was founded in 1991 and is managed by the Office of Refugee Resettlement. Another government agency. Yep. You see what I mean? Look how many government agencies we've already found. And I've only been live for like 20 minutes, right? This is bullcrap. Just straight crap. Look, here's another one. Refugee and Entrant Assistant Discretionary Grants. What is that, 2 trillion? But we're not helping them at all. Agency, Administration for Children and Families, Health and Humane Services. And look, it's always 22 and 2023. These people were out of control. That's 600 million. Just over it. And if it would show shit right. Probably because I'm in dark mode. Crazy. 600 million. And they're still getting them. Look, International Rescue Committee. I've worked with that company at an old job I had for years and years. Lutheran Social Services. Like, yeah. Hey, look at that. Somali Family Services of San Diego. International Rescue Committee. Partners for Trauma Recovery. I mean, look at all these California. I hate this. Like, Gavin Newsom is just a piece of shit. Him and everybody in office. They think they got us by the balls. This is the kind, like, all right, we always said that the children will be the one thing that unite us, right? And piss everybody off. But I think that, honestly, it's going to be the fraud. It's going to be this right here. It's going to be all the fraud from SNAP and Medicaid and Medicare and, right? We can go down the line, right, of everything that they've scammed off of. I mean, look, we're at the Department of Agriculture. We got, right, like all these freaking federal government that are just dishing out grants. Small business, the SBA. And at least Trump filed the damn executive order to stop it, right? Protecting the American people against invasion. This one definitely goes a lot deeper than what we think, especially with them citing it, right? That they got all their funding cut. This has been an amazing year. Don't get me wrong. The way that it's ending right now is freaking amazing with all this fraud coming out. There's no way. Like, Fox is covering it now. Yeah, we subsidize the whole damn world and they're just as poor as us, right? Only their rulers like Zelensky get the money, right? So, and that's another thing that pissed me off. The same week that we find out that Zelensky and his cabinet, right, bunch of money, and then the damn Congress turns around and gives them like 800 million. Get out of here. It's going to be every state. Yep, because I think Ohio has the second highest Somali. But that's only Somalis, guys. Like, that's only one. I'm telling you, these are for immigrants. This isn't just Somalis. These are for refugees. Refugees that we let in from everywhere, from around the world. When Biden fled the gates, this was part of their shit that they used, right? Like, we don't even know how many of these businesses are being run by illegals. I mean, yeah, the irony in this one, right, is that they're Somalians are literally pirates, right? So, like, duh. What did you think? And I really hope that they, I don't know. They need to lock up Ilhan Omar. And then after she does her time, then they can kick her ass out the country. But she don't just kick her ass out to Somalia where she can go be a force over there and be against us. Hell no. Lock her ass up. Lock them all up. And Anna Paulina did say that today. She was on Fox when they were questioning her. And yeah, she said people need to perp walk for this. More Pirates of the Caribbean. It's part of the movie, right? Now we got the pirates. Is that the next? Maybe that's the next movie we'll watch. We'll watch pirate movies. At the part of that Nick Shirley video is when that they were asking them, like, where's the children? Where's the children? Like, What if it's, yeah, I'm not even gonna go into that. I am on the tube, so I gotta be somewhat careful, right? But just think of that. They were asking them, where are the kids? Where are the kids? Where are the kids? And there's no kids that are in any of those buildings that they visited. So one, where are the kids? If they are registered to go there. If you guys get my drift. Or there's just no kids there and it's a big, right? A big scam. I shouldn't say or. I should say and or. Just saying. Just saying. Just putting it out there. So this was the part that got me. So it aimed to support the economic integration of refugees and immigrants by giving them resources to help them start, maintain, and expand their own small businesses. In addition to helping these underserved individuals pursue entrepreneurship, the MED program is designed to function as an employment strategy, supporting job creation, increasing incomes, and contributing to the U.S. economy. Right. The grants programs services include funding, training, and business counseling. They get small business loans up to $15,000. You can use these microloans for startup or expansion costs like buying equipment or marketing. Repaid MED loans go back into the program's revolving loan fund. Let me repeat that. The repaid MED loans go back into the program's revolving loan fund. And I'm sure they pay interest, right? Then they get credit building loans up to $1,500. The loans get reported to the credit bureaus to help establish, improve, or repair your credit history. A business plan preparation guidance. Before receiving the loan, they get hands-on training drafting a business plan tailored to your goals. They get one-on counseling, and they get group training on business-related topics. Throughout the process, you can access classes, so they get taught free classes on topics like bookkeeping, marketing, and social media. To receive MED assistance, you must be a member of an ORR eligible population, which includes refugees, asylums, Cuban and Haitian entrants, Ameri-Asians, victims of human trafficking, and Afghan or Ukrainian humanitarian parolees. So Cuba, Haiti, the Ameri-Asians, victims of human trafficking, and Afghan or Ukrainian humanitarian parolees. And in addition, you must not be a citizen. What? In addition, you must not be a citizen or have been in the U.S. for more than 5 years. So part of them to get this grant is to not be a U.S. citizen. What the fuck? I understand that they're refugees, right? But usually that means they go home, not start a business and then grow that business and then keep getting loans and funds and then get federal grants to pay those loans. It's all one big scam. But like I said, How do they afford the house to start the daycare in the first place? You can't run it out of an apartment. Crazy. This program was established in 2013. Mr. Obama, like the MED program, it provides immigrant business grants to help recently arrived refugees and other OR eligible individuals start their own business. Since they often have young children of their own, many already have the necessary skills because, you know, having a freaking child automatically qualifies you to be a babysitter for everyone else's children. Yes, that's how it works. None of us, if you want to start one, have to go through a bunch of training and classes and shit. Have to know CPR, have to know first aid, that's just two, right? Then they gotta have, like, there's so much crap usually on these child daycare centers. Like, this is insane that just because they have young children, they automatically qualify to watch everyone's freaking kids. Get out of here. And then they have direct financial assistance to prepare that home that they get from the government for a child care operation. Our government is one big fucking scam. That's all it is. One huge scam. And then, like we seen, this all somehow goes back into their political donations and then rinse and repeat. Just disgusting. The amount of money that they have wasted and then sit here and want money for homelessness, like hearing Ro Khanna's dumbass saying to put more taxes on the wealthy. They're already fucking leaving, you idiot. You don't tax them even more. These people are dumb. These people are stupid. I think they just want to drain this freaking state of everything and just, I don't know, who's going to run everything? Right? Newt's going to use his damn knee pads for freaking Xi Jinping when he comes again? Bunch of bullshit. And all I have to say, that at least President Trump came in and basically on the first day enacted Executive Order 14159, protecting the American people against invasion. And that gives us everything that we need to go after these freaking people. We want to see perp walks, Cash. Bondi. Like, start lining these people up. This shit's enough. If any one of us did this shit, we would be in jail tomorrow. Like, this is bullcrap. Y'all come after us on freaking income taxes that we pay all year, and if you make too much, guess what? You gotta pay them even more. And then they'll come after you and tax you and interest you and hound you and threaten you to take away all your wages. But then if you're a refugee and immigrant, here's your home, here's your plan, here's your family daycare center because you brought your children or had children or whatever the crap goes on, and here's your business. Oh, and by the way, here's $1 million a year from a federal funding grant. Bullshit. This is all bullcrap. Sorry if I get mad, but this is the type of shit that pisses me off. This is the stuff that we're all hurting. I live in one of the, I mean, it's my choice, but I live in a state that taxes the shit out of us, right? Like, this is ridiculous. And then Newsom wanted to send fucking reparations for what? You owe us, you freaking crook. Ugh, you guys say no taxes, forget that. They owe us money. Lots of money. This is fraud. They all need to go. They all need to be sitting behind bars in a federal prison. They all need to be at Gitmo. This is treason. You're sending money to terrorists. Like, this thing's gonna get so deep. And this is how we're gonna roll into 2026 with the election interference, which this goes right into it. Yeah, I've seen my city get destroyed since Newsom came in. Just destroyed. And it does. It makes me mad. I shouldn't have to leave, right? Just to survive. That's bull. That's not right. This is the United States of America. I should be able to live where the hell I want and be able to afford to do it. Not have to make $250,000 a year just to just to have an apartment. Oh yeah, in my little, districting here in where I live, I mean, I can walk to 4 different cities in 2 blocks because of all their redistricting. You know what I mean? It's a bunch of crap. I mean, California's been full of fraud for a long time. Don't get me wrong. This is like Mafia capital, right? Hollywood. This is like the satanic state that we're trying, like, this is the part of the deep state, right? These crooked bastards. And I don't know if you guys seen, they were sharing on X that Rob Weiner had a daycare, right? Like, you guys, it's And guess what's about to come out? The Weiner laptop reviews are due tomorrow, December 29th, as evidence in this letter sent on December 15th from Chucky and AG Bondi and Cash. So hopefully we get those released. I mean, I don't want them released. Those are some sick right? But people need to pay for that. Right? You better get your 10 Days of Darkness, because this stuff is getting redonkulous. Just give me the old blue colored bars, right? Boo. Reset. You gotta love Harmeet. Trump Bondi DOJ is working to bring to justice those who weaponized January 6, 2021. No statute of limitations will hinder DOJ's efforts to bring justice to those who weaponize persecutions of American citizens. January 6, 2026 is not a deadline for DOJ to bring prosecutions. Like Harmeet, she said, I think she said something like, one day I'll tell you how I really feel. Yeah, Silver has got the God candle right now. That thing's not stopping at all. It's moving on the weekend. When it opens tomorrow, that thing's gonna book. We might open at 100, right? I think it moved, 10% this weekend? Crazy. And then look what she says here. My boss, AG, right, Pam Bondi, works around the clock to bring justice for all Americans. Don't be a hater and a simp for weaponized online disinformation. You You gotta love this administration, right? Don't be a hater and a simp. Oh my. All right, I had to take a little laugh break there because this was starting to piss me off, right? Like this is so crooked. So crooked. It blows my mind that they just give them the straight blueprint, right? On exactly what to do. Like this is nuts. New York. Hey, look at there's a 17. Broadway Suite. I wonder who funds these people. Business credit monitoring, business insurance, a fair figure card. I always love it when something doesn't have an About Us page. I guess they're like a financial technology company. We are not a bank. But yeah, I asked Grok is how this all started for me. And Grok was like, oh yeah, here, look at this. And then, right, government. It even says there are no federal programs I would say I mean look at that. $422,000 just in 2025. But look at that 2021, a mil, 1.1, 1.3. I don't know why this says 14,000. That's got to be bull. But yeah, see, everything is right here for you. I mean, this goes back to 2005, $50,000. And they doubled it. Then again. And again and again, right? Like, this is insane. And this is just one. Partnership for Trauma Recovery. Alameda. $2024 almost got a mil. Half. You see what I mean? This is just one place. And then if you wanted to, you could do like Nick did, right? And actually look at these and see if it's actually something. No way. Mosaic Healing Center. Mental health for refugees. The Bay Area hosts a large population of refugees, asylees, and asylum seekers fleeing armed conflict and persecution in their own home countries. Everything but English. It said interpreters. I was joking. Awesome, Stevie. All right, I followed you. I know we'll grow this channel bigger, right? As we start to break more stuff open. I'm trying to find a good time to do this show too. I know that like 9 p.m. can be kind of late. So I might choose something more during the day. I was just kind of experimenting on when to do these shows. What do you guys think? When's a good time to do the show? I was thinking of doing one at like a 3 p.m. show maybe. Or maybe a 5 p.m. show. Instead of not so late. I know 9 isn't too late, but it is later at night, so most people are starting to wind down. We get subjects like this, and I get angry. I know maybe 9 o'clock I'll save for like when we start doing movie nights again. Not on this channel, on the other LEQ channel that I have that we always watch movies on. But maybe we'll do a 9 o'clock show, and that one will just be our watch party. You make it, we will come. Well, thank you, Stevie. You guys are always here with me, so thank you guys that are here with me mostly every show. And I know I try to keep. I haven't really done any too much weekend shows either. Friday and Saturday, I'm usually busy. So, but those are good days to do shows, of course, which I haven't really done. So next year, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to be more consistent in these shows. Probably do a 3 p.m. show, maybe a 5 p.m. show. We'll see. And then we'll do watch parties. We'll try to do watch parties, right? My gosh. Most of you were there with me when we were doing our watch parties, and that was a shit show. Whew. It'd be like, try number 10 to try to finish this damn movie. See, and if you really want to do some shirts, then you could take their EIN. You could take it to the, the SEC. I don't think it's the SEC. Let me see. This is why I like to use Data Republicans tools. Thank you, Data Republican. And she's going to be doing a live interview type thing with is it Old Liberty Station, I think. Yeah, we're gonna have to pull out some older movies, right? Right, Stevie? I think we were just getting into too many like mainstream media's movies, and I was just getting shellacked by ISP and Rumble and right, like probably the website. Who knows? So taxpayer money spent $1.83 million just in this partnership for trauma recovery. Awarded by the Department of Health and Human Services for the Administration of Children and Families. Don't tell me that the government isn't funding this crap. Hi, Lulu. The government is funding this. 100%. Tim Walz, you're going to jail. You're going to prison. That's all I got to say. Whoever's in the administration, like, this needs answers of why. Right? Why are they getting all this money? I'm not even saying that it's not legit. Maybe it is legit, but it still needs to be researched because they're getting funding, right? Exactly. Like I said, I'm not even saying that this place is illegal. So Partnership for Trauma Recovery. I'm not even saying that you are an illegal company. You very well may, be using these funds correctly. But let's be real here. That's a lot of freaking money. And here's how you do your little research, right? Like, we got some brilliant coders, right? And look at this. Their end date is the 27th. There's 2027. They still got 2 years left in this damn thing. Assistance for torture victims. I don't. Look at this. For this current fiscal year, this agency has been granted authority to spend $11 billion out of this federal account. They were carried over from a balance of $4 billion from last year, and were given $7 billion in new appropriations and authority to use $7 million of other budgetary resources. To date, half of it has been obligated. $11 billion. What the hell? Yeah, here we go, 2023. Unobligated 8 trillion, 8 billion. Unobligated balance. They only spent 3 billion of that. This sounds like a honey, right? Like this is unaccompanied children. 31.86 billion. Well, where the hell are all those unaccompanied children that you spent $31.86 billion on that you lost? And look at this. The least that they spent. Trafficking victims. 73 million. Family Endeavors. That's Tim Walz. Isn't it? Family Endeavors Inc. Is that not? Isn't that the flight company? Family Endeavors. Hmm. Is there any music playing? I don't think so, huh? Napes. Sorry, need some thinking music, right? Man, Family Endeavors, though. Why does that one sound so familiar? Maybe it's just me. Maybe I've worked with this company before. Who freaking knows? I mean, Tim Walz used to own a oops. I wanted that to be from my profile. He used to own a plane company. Oh, this? Yeah. Remember? And this happened. Where is that lady that didn't go along with the healthcare and disappeared, right? Got pew-pewed in her home. I'm trying to tell you, he's CCP. There he is. With the president of Gangenzhou Institute of Physical Education. And the main host for the China trip, Mr. Tim Walz. Timmy. Let me see if I can find it because no way. Did I never post that? Bull crap. You look at this. What's Tim Walz's connection with the Wuhan Institute? This one's gonna come back up though. You watch. Gonna come back up. All right, let's see if I can. Let's see if Brave's AI can do something. Let's see what it got. There it is. Wasn't a plane company. You're right. But thank you for giving me the right name. Education Travel Adventures Inc. Here is one of Timmy's old companies. But you remember, Tim used to fly children to China. Remember that? Well, he used to own this company, Education Travel Adventures. And what do? They fly children around the world to different destinations. Interesting, isn't it? I say, is one of them Somalia? But look at this company, though. It goes all around the world. Go to Taiwan, Vietnam, China. One of you all? Definitely China was one of them. And funny how now it's not, huh? Right. Yeah, they did have masks in that one, didn't they? But very interesting that Timmy used to own this company. Flying children around the world. And now you got this. Who knows who's running this now? But this was started by Timmy and his wife. Can't make it up. I'm telling you, these people are sick. These people are sick. And they all better be going to jail. That's all I got to say. Straight to Gitmo. +20 students. But yeah, this one, when I found out that Tim used to own Mr. Walls, own this company, that one did not sit right with me. But see, he owned a private company called Education Travel Adventures Inc. that organized student trips to China, but it was a travel coordination business, not an airline or a plane company. You're right, wasn't a plane company. It was a child travel agency. The corporation was dissolved 4 days after he took congressional office in 2007. Right. The corporation was dissolved, but here's the corporation. It was dissolved into another corporation. And if you look, students and sponsors raised funds for the trips, around $1,500 each, while lodging, food, and other costs in China were reportedly paid for by the Chinese government. And we all know that if the government's paying something, they're controlling it. So I can almost guarantee you that the Chinese government controlled his company. Flying children and promoting their commie bullshit. We dodged a bullet with Kamala and this tampon Tim numbnuts, right? Like that was a close one. They definitely would have done us in. Or maybe it would have been something else and we would have been on the brink. But man, thank God that idiot is not in charge. Once again, on this stream, I'm not saying that this partnership for trauma recovery is illegal. It was just part of the research. So if you're legit, good. If you're not, sorry you got busted. There's just so many of these. This is all throughout America. 101 pages of nothing but refugee and entrant assistant discretionary grants. $2 billion. Just insane. This is so much money that they've wasted. And it's always 22, 23. Look at this crap. This just tells me that they're still there. Look, though, they didn't even get ballsy. Like, they started it, and they're like, we're good. We'll just cruise under the radar. COVID hit. Biden took over. Just freaking empty the coffers. Right? Like, what the crap, man? Just empty it. Right? Under 100 million. Just flying since its creation. Biden gets in and just shit show. I wish some of this money would go back to the people. I'm telling you, we would all live really good lives. Like, maybe we are entering a golden era because they owe us a lot of money. Well, they are. Right, Stevie? They are heaven on earth. They're not home. They come here. They get a house. They get a business. They get funding. Didn't pay not one red cent. Well, they drive around in Porsches and wear whatever the hell they want, right? Like, that's the good thing, though. Look at this. 2025. At least Trump came in and said, no mas. But look, this goes back, right? That's what this is going back in the years. I thought that was 101. And yep, this is before. It still shows 0, but this is the information you got to sift through, right? Always. You have to sift through everything. There's always. Just saying. Or another one. Catholic Charities. Christian Services. See? It's just all scams. They're all a bunch of scams. And maybe they're not. But from what we've just discovered, yeah, most likely a lot of this is a scam. And this is all throughout the United States. Sad. They just give away our money like this. Look at California. You're just a piece of shit. Like they lead the flock on everybody, California. They just give our money away to everything. And then want to tax the rich? There's going to be no more rich here. They're all going to leave. They already have. Wonder why this state's in debt. Whew. And right there, tags. DHS, right? HHS. You can't tell me that the government's not funding this crap, because they are. And that's what we've proved tonight, that the government once again lied. Like, at least come out and say, if you're running the SBA right now, at least come out and say that, yes, we used to give them federal loans, but under President Trump's executive order, we no longer do that. Like, at least admit the mistake that was done by that government entity. Just because you run it don't mean you have to take accountability for it. You can take accountability for that administration being screwed up and you're fixing it. Yeah, they sold us an American dream and then gave them one. Exactly, Stevie. But honestly, everyone goes through their own awakening. And I really think that, like, when you hit somebody's pocket, right? I don't know if you guys have heard, like, the different white hat theories, right? Or the different hats that people wear, basically. And there's like an orange hat, right? Where they're like awake, but are kind of like whatever. But then once it hits them in the pocket, then they care, right? Like once it affects them, then shit matters. That's where we're at. We're at the part where most people didn't care, right? Until it was fraud. And now I think a lot of people are going to wake up. They're going to research, right? We're going to have a lot of Nick runoffs that are doing this in every state. And they thought that they can control us through the mainstream media, but we are the news now. We have everything that they have and more, right? We don't have anybody that stops us from saying something. We can say or go investigate whatever the hell we want to investigate. We just go. And now they've opened a floodgate. Nick's only 23. This is going to be... You want to talk about copycats? This is a good one to have copycats, right? Will be why the mainstream media does not want to show this, is because they do not want a bunch of copycats, right? And people doing what Nick did. Because you guarantee them young people say, shit, he walked around showing closed down businesses and fraud and got 100 million views. I could do that. You're going to see a lot of these people coming out the woodworks, right? And his video was perfect because he was working with an older guy that had all the information and he just needed a way to get it out. So podcasters, if you have a show, I guarantee there's somebody in your city that has trying to get something out. Right, Joe? Joe Rogan? Theo? Right? You big podcasters? Like, I guarantee there's people that want to get this same type of research and information out. Minnesota's not the only one that silenced whistleblowers or, right, fired somebody. Like these people have done a lot of research over the years. And thank God X somewhat lets us get our word out, depending on what you say or don't say, or who you are or who you aren't. If you're one of those Kraskenak twins, apparently you can say whatever the hell you want. But we won't go there, right? They're a bunch of paid ops anyway. It's exactly what they are. But this is just insane that we can literally just go through all of this, right? Actually see 2022, 1.4 billion. Shit. Like, how do you get $1 billion for 2022? And then go down to 3.23. Whew. What? In 2020, they were getting what? 19 mil. And it looks like nothing, but still, that's $42 million. They opened up and got 10 million. And all from the Department of Health and Humane Services. Undersecretary of Health, U.S. Customs and Border Patrol. What? Department of Labor, Department of Housing, Department of Homeland, Department of Veterans Affairs. For refugees, they got 54 million. Medical service, operations, public health. Look at that. Homeless assistance. Look, here's one for you. Refugees and entrances, 40 million. Homeless veterans, 1 million. They don't care about us. If you served for this country, they don't care. 40 million to refugees, 1 million to veterans. That should be flipped around and ass backwards. Crazy. And this is just one company. And Family Endeavors, I'm not saying that you're a fraud, that you're misusing your funds, but that's it. But $2.2 billion from the Department of Health and Humane Services, Department of Interior, Department of Homeland Security, Department of Veteran Affairs. This makes me sick. It's just a bunch of crap, right? Like, this is so much money. And just like I said, 2023 blows up even more. Like, I don't get how they spent money on unaccompanied children, but yet we've had the highest unaccompanied children ever in this country. Just amazing. Like, I can't. You almost can't wrap your head around how much money that is, right? Billions and trillions and gazillions of dollars, right? Like, this. Wow. And we all started off with the Partnership for Trauma Recovery. Crazy. And then if you really want to go into this, then you get like who's giving them money other than the Department of Health and Human Services. Not that they need any more freaking money. So much money. Just makes you sick. For me, it just pisses me off. Just arrest somebody already. I can't believe that there's this much fraud all throughout this damn country. All being given by our government. And still being given, even though it was cut off. Like, get rid of this whole freaking agency. The whole thing. Get rid of it. Minority Business Development Agency. The hell does that even mean? Minority business? DI. Get rid of it. Crooked ass freaking government, man. Office of Refugee Resettlement. Get rid of it. We don't need any more refugees. They just suck and leech everything off of us. Get rid of this bullshit. Refugee and entrant assistance discretionary grants for $2 billion. Like, this stuff just makes me sick. And then, yep, tax season comes along and pay your taxes. Kiss my ass. They don't deserve cent from us. They deserve to be putting everything back into our pockets. That's where they should be going. Not out of ours. It should be going out of theirs and into ours. Like, this is bullcrap. They're going to owe us so much money. Will we ever see it? Nope. But they're going to owe us a big old fat IOU. That's what they're going to get. That's what we're going to get. One fat ass, we owe you nothing. Eat the bugs and be happy. Well, if I cursed a little more in this one, it's because this is the one that pisses me off. They can send it to Chinese national to prison for trafficking reptiles, but they can't. I'll just leave that there. Oh, nice. Justice degree reaches proposed consent decree with LivCorp, one of America's largest landlords, to resolve information sharing in algorithmic coordination claims. CEO of healthcare software center company sentenced to $1 billion in fraud conspiracy. Oh shit. Justice Department sues J.B. Pritzker and Kwame Raoul over the Illinois Bivens Act, challenging their unconstitutional attempt to regulate federal law enforcement offers through the so-called Illinois Bivens Act and Court Access, Safety, and Participation Act. Not only are the laws illegal, attempts to regulate and discriminate against the federal government through novel causes of action, but as alleged in the complaint, the laws threaten the safety of federal officers who have faced an unprecedented wave of harassment, doxing, and even violence, threatening officers with ruinous liability and even punitive damages for executing federal law and for simply protecting their identities and their families. Also chills the enforcement of federal law and compromises sensitive law enforcement operations. The danger is acute. The Department of Justice will steadfastly protect law enforcement from unconstitutional state laws like Illinois that threaten massive punitive liability and compromise the safety of our officers. Well, guess what? If Illinois politicians prefer to attack law enforcement with lawsuits and punitive damages rather than support, arrest them. That's a good one, though. I mean, at least they challenged that ruling, right? Well, this guy got life in prison. And look at that. 2 pleaded guilty and an executive of Maryland IT companies charged for conspiracy to defraud the federal government. They sued the District of Columbia for unconstitutional ban of semi-automatic firearms. They sued Black and Decker. I said, I don't want to take nothing away from this administration, right? Like, we haven't really seen any freaking arrests this year, but there's been a lot of information released that a lot of people should be in jail or in prison or sitting in Gitmo or Complas, or you choose yourself, Supermax, right? Like, these people need to be in Gitmo. That's it. Enough is enough. You guys had your 2025 and came out and trying to get right. Like, the team is in now. That's it. 2026, we better hit this ball rolling. It would be nice if it happened before the 1st. So come on, Pam. Let's go. Arrest somebody. Perp walk them. We need to see some perps walking. It's time. It is time. Cash is time. Perp walk these people. I know you say you don't want to do it because optics or what, right? Like, forget that. Optics the hell out of that. You guys better be perp walking somebody to show us that you guys are holding these people accountable. And hold these people accountable. law and order. Because if you don't hold the law, there ain't going to be any order, just like what's happening right now. All right, everyone. Well, we've kind of went down a little sliver of, right, how they basically set all this up. Give them a blueprint, give them a house, give them the blueprint to do everything, and then, yep, there you go. Get funded. It should say, give you a house, get funded, build a business, and then build your credit and take control, right? Like, this is... The fact that it's laid out like that is just incredible to me. That it's all just given on a silver platter. And thank God for President Trump enacting that executive order. And I think this invasion is going to go a lot further than what we thought. Because these are all government entities. Gov. Everyone, if you want to see, here is the one from X for the website that they built that we haven't even gotten into this one, right? Because I guarantee a lot of this stuff gets even a lot deeper. But they did build a beautiful app, right? That you can go through. See, no verified funding. And just go through these and see, right, exactly what the heck is going on. If there's nothing going on, there's nothing going on, right? Go to the next one. So this is a nice little website. Great job building these little gems, right, that we can use. And of course, Data Republicans is my favorite, right? Like her website is where I have personally found so much fraud. And you see the spider webs and you see how they hide everything. And you almost see how they can't be held accountable because it's just one big freaking spider web of moving money around. Which is a RICO. But that's a whole nother it's a whole nother topic basically. All right, guys. I will be going live tomorrow. 6 p.m. I'm sorry. 9 p.m. EST. That's 6 p.m. for me if you're on the west side, which I know most of you are not. We'll do 9 p.m. for the rest of this year. And then starting January 1st, we'll probably start. I'll let you guys know in the next shows. But I think 3 o'clock is a good time. It's going to be either 3 or 5, I think. So that's like noon for me. But we'll see. I will definitely let you guys know. Thank you everyone for hanging out with me tonight. Yeah, I'm going to have to clip up some of this from this video because we did find some little golden nuggets here that just lay out everything. How our government is involved in everything. They give them a blueprint to do everything. They give them the funding to do everything. They give them the house to do everything. It's a lot of scam going on for sure. Hey, Sassy. I'm just wrapping up the show too. Thank you for joining with me for last minute. Be sure to go back and watch this rerun because this one we uncovered basically exactly how everything is laid out for them one by one, and they're just giving everything on a silver platter. So everyone, watch gold tomorrow. Let's hope when the markets open we see a big old bust, right? And it goes straight up just like it is on that God candle that it's on right now. Let it keep rising and rising and rising. That's the close of these banks because they definitely don't have that silver. And just remember how much gold was moving from the Vatican and from London on their planes, right? Not and through on commercial planes. hidden in storage, right? To come here. We never got to see the inside, right, of Fort Knox. Come on, Trump and Elon. We want to see Fort Knox. That was a big lead up that nothing happened, but we would like to see the empty coffers. So, or full, right? Either way, it would. Either way, we'd like to see what's inside. All right, guys. I love you guys all so much. Have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow at 9 p.m. EST.